Hello friends, how are you? Are you also coming to Dubai security guard job? Okay. Today in this video I am going to tell you some security guard company's name which I have seen. There are many security guards companies, but among that only some company's name today I am going to tell you. And now you think in which company you are trying or you are coming, and your friends are working in which company, that you tell in comment box. Okay, now not to delay, I am going to tell you the names. Okay, listen carefully. First, Transcard Security Group or company. First Security Company, Spratus Security Company, First Security and Safety Company, Empower Energy Solution, Farnek Company, Star Security Company. There is written Services LLC, but I am telling in this video company. Don't be confused, okay? Shaker Plus Security Services, Prestige Security Services, okay, no company services. Loyal Facility Management, Best Security Services, Citizen Security Services, Perfect Protections Security Company, Landmark Security Company, Wall Security Services or Group, G4S Security Group or Company, Libra Security Services, Capital Force Security Services, Arkan Security Services or Group, Middle East Security Services, Spark Security Services or Group, United Security Group, Accelerate Security Services, Concordia Security Services, Falcon Security Services, Power Security Services, CISB Security Services, Focus Power Security Services, Aminco Security Services, SK Solutions Facilities Services, Ultimate Security Services, Eagle Eye Security Services, Vassal Security Services, Modest Security Services, Magnum Security Services, Blue Diamond Security Services, MBK Security Services, Skill Force Security Services, Lies and Sultan Security Services, Platinum Wings Security Services, Benite Security Services, Special Security Services, Affordable Security Services, Delta Security Services, A Plus Security Services, Technowell Security Services, Keytech Security Services, Stargate Security Services, Hira Security Services, Royal Falcon Security Services, ProGuard Security Services, Guard Force Security Services, Smart Elite Security Services, First Choice Security Services, Al Nagma Al Farida Security Services, Professional Security Services, Al Harasi Security Services, Reserve Mabez Security Services, Al Falan Security Services, Al Jabar Security Services, Al Kadma Al Sharia General Security Services, Top Star Security Services, Emirates National Security Services, Gulf Fidelity Security Services, Barclays Security Services, Clairvoyant Force Security Services, Ready Force Security Services, Sunprice Security Services, Wells Security Services, Apex Security Services, Delmont Security Services, Bill Hessas Recruitment Security Services, Paragon Security Services, Bin Hindi Security Services, USG Security Services, Inaya Security Services, Loyal Force Security Services, and many more security services in Dubai available now also. And but because of time, today I told you only this much security guard company's name. Okay, if you are coming, please select best security guard company. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.